Hey MOMnation, Katie here and Crystal.
Hi.
We are actually live at HQ. I know it kind of is hard to see. Oh, and we have a friend with us.
Say hi.
We are in so cute. We are in the backyard at HQ because it's so beautiful out, right? So we're doing our little interview with Crystal here, real quick for you all. So Crystal, introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Crystal. I was born and raised here in Arizona, and I recently started a blog called Pineapple Aspirations, and one of the key topics that, you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay,
Tell us why you started it and how you started it and all that fun stuff.
So, well, originally I did start it to try to make some income at home with my daughter. I do work part-time on the weekends, but during the week I'm home with my daughter while my husband's working, and I wanted to find a way to create some extra income, so I thought, well, let's try a blog. And yes, I see you, baby.
You're on TV.
And over the past 2 years, I've been have lots of things with like fun recipes and stuff like that. And having a 2-year-old, I wanted to try to use less refined white sugar. So a lot of my recipes have to do with that. And then Halloween was coming up, and so I thought, well, why don't I do something on having a no sugar Halloween? And then that's when you and I connected up. So yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. Love that we connected, by the way, because I'm of the same mindset on the whole sugar thing.
Yeah.
So how old is your blog actually?
It's only actually like a few months old, maybe 3 or 4 months old. It's very new.
Awesome.
I only have about 8 posts. Yeah.
That's okay. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And how did you come up with the name?
So originally I had picked like a name like livingthelifeyouLove.com, and I thought, well, that's actually like too common, and other people might have already things tagged and connected with that. So I saw a YouTube video where the gal said you guys find something really unique. So I went online and I was looking at different like quotes, inspirational quotes, and I came across this really cute quote, which was, "Be a pineapple, stand tall, wear a crown, but be sweet on the inside."
Oh.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. So I was like, how can I make that into my blog name? And so then I just thought Pineapple Aspirations, because you're like aspiring to, stand tall, wear a crown, but be sweet.
Right, right. Oh, I totally love that. That's super cute. So tell me about the science of it all, like in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. What about sugar, like what does sugar do to our little kiddos' bodies as soon as it hits their lips?
Sure. Well, I brought some notes on this just so I can remember everything, but there's a number of, like actually a lot of things that happen. I kind of started just out of common sense of, having a little one and not wanting to overload her body with sugar, and then you want to come sit right here? And then when you asked me some more questions, and I was like, well, let me look into it even further. And so I found a couple, like there's lots of actually sites out there that talk about sugar, and one of the things is like there was this one person from his nerdfitness.com was their blog, and he says, along with increasing weight, sugar consumption has been implicated in many crimes, including contributing to an increased chance of obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, chronic kidney disease, and high blood pressure. So it actually affects the body, and if you think about it, when they're so little, they should be concentrating on growing their brains and growing their bodies and their mind development and stuff like that. And when you're loading in that sugar, it's really going to slow that down, and their bodies have to work so hard then to
process
get
it
out,
because it knows it doesn't belong in there.
Exactly. This one article I was reading talked about how that high amount of sugar, that fructose, it can overload your liver, and it can create an insulin resistance, which could lead to diabetes.
And there's a lot of that, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
My sister-in-law suffers from that. She's 31 years old. That's kind of crazy.
Both of my aunts, I think, have issues with diabetes.
And my sister-in-law is at the point where she has to give herself a shot daily. I think it's at least one, otherwise she could die, like at any time.
Yeah.
Which is really scary. I mean, she has 2 little kids. She has a daughter that's exactly a month younger than Jackson, so she's got a 3.5-year-old daughter.
Wow.
And an 8-year-old daughter. So it's just kind of crazy. I know a lot of our moms deal with issues. I see a lot of posts like about, my kid's not sleeping, my kid doesn't behave, I don't get it. Tell me about how sugar might be playing a part in this, and people might not realize it.
Yeah, I actually found this really interesting article where it talks about that, and it mentions in here that if there is sugar in their diet in any form, it will cause inflammation, and the first point of inflammation is in the nose, and this makes breathing very difficult when children are sleeping. And it says later, he says, obstructive sleep apnea is the most common form of the disorder and causes the throat or upper airway to collapse, preventing oxygen from getting to the lungs, resulting in shallow breathing or breathing pauses. And it even says that it can happen at any age, but it's most common in children between 3 and 7. Yeah, just noise.
It's just the wind.
And then it says, reduced oxygen flow to the brain disrupts restorative sleep, which is critical for every child's brain development. And it says that this disruption creates problems in areas of the brain that control children's behavior, emotions, and ability to be attentive, often resulting in increased hyperactivity, which is a big issue these days.
Huge issue. I mean, how many times do we hear that? So if you're having those types of issues with your kid not sleeping and misbehaving, I mean, kids misbehave. Let's face it.
Yeah, they're going to.
But perhaps diet and perhaps sugar is something to look at, and I think not a lot. People just don't think of that.
Right, because I know how I feel if I am not eating well or if I am not getting enough sleep. I start to feel a little crazy, and the same thing happens with their little bodies.
Mm-hmm. And they're so much smaller than us. Mm-hmm. So imagine the effect of even a fun-sized candy bar,
right? What
that has on their little teeny, weeny, 20-pound bodies.
Exactly.
You know, kind of crazy. So, cool. Well, you've been a member of MOMnation AZ for how long now?
You know, I think it's been more than 6 months. But the past couple of months when I really started getting active, it was a while ago that I met a gal at IKEA, and she's the one who recommended the group, and so I don't even remember her name is
IKEA.
now.
I bet that's Allie Oliver.
And so then I got approved, and then but I was a little bit, hesitant of reaching out and stuff like that, and then I was so glad when I did reach out to you and connected up. So now I've been to some of the events, which has been fun.
Awesome. So again, that was going to be where I was going with this. So you've been to a couple of events. Mm-hmm. What has been your favorite so far?
Well, probably the MOMnation Market, because I met so many amazing women. It was right here at the headquarters, and so many ladies that have these amazing talents, and they're so great. So just meeting them, and I got a chance to really do something with my blog of having the sugar-free Halloween thing, which is awesome because then my daughter was able to trick-or-treat sugar-free, which made me super excited. So that was probably my favorite. My most recent one was I went to, I don't remember her name, but it was the makeup brunch that was last week.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so they had they did little makeup things, and one gal was selling the Color Street, so I got
nice
done. So that was fun. And then my very first event was the booty yoga.
Oh, fun. And that was here.
That was here
That was right here at HQ. So you've been to HQ a couple of times.
Yeah.
You've brought your little a couple of times.
Yep.
So tell me just a little bit about her. What is cooking with her? How did, let's just start with how she started. So
sure.
How did you and your husband meet and all of that come about?
Okay, so I was in the California area, and my husband was born and raised in Puerto Rico.
Oh, nice.
And then he moved into the States and made his way over to California. And then a friend of his from Puerto Rico also moved to the States and later then moved to California. And I was friends with his friend. And then he's the one who connected us up. He said, you guys want to go hang out? I haven't seen Michael, my husband, in a long time. And I was like, I don't want to be a third wheel. You haven't seen him in a long time. And Michael's like, why are you bringing somebody? And so we just went out to do laundry together, all three of us,
And you still do laundry together?
We still do laundry together. So that's kind of how we met. And so we owe it all to his friend Arturo, bringing us together. And then we were out in the California area for a while. And then when we got pregnant with her, we decided to move back to Phoenix, which is where my family is, so we could be close to them, free babysitting, that kind of thing.
I think everybody understands that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I did a home birth with her, which was awesome.
Ooh.
Have an amazing midwife, Mary, here in Phoenix. And it was painful, but it was still awesome being able to just move right into my own bed after having her.
I bet.
So we did that, and she's been awesome. She's 2.5. Her birthday is in April. And she's just learning and growing and keeping us on our toes. And
as they do. Yeah. That's awesome. Love that little story. You have some other passions, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Talk to me about those.
Well, I grew up as like an artsy girl, and I went to school. I went to South Mountain High School, if anybody knows what that is here, and for the art program. So I took computer art, and my goal was to be like a computer animator for Disney as a child. But
that's fun. Yeah. We have some Disney lovers in the group. Raise your hand. Hey.
Yeah. But I didn't end up pursuing that per se. But so then I became busy with work. I was working long days, so my creative outlet became baking. And so I started baking, and I even started like a home-based baking business out of my home. And I do it every once in a while. Like I have a baby shower that I'm doing this Sunday, cupcakes for the baby shower. So I do that from time to time, but it takes baking from your house is much different than baking in a bakery because you don't have like the whole setup. So
Right.
I'm not trying to promote it and do it a lot, but if people want it, and if they want, I try to customize for them. So if they want gluten-free, or if they want vegan,
Nice.
or if they want sugar-free, I'll use agave, stuff like that. So like for her first birthday, I did it with agave.
Awesome.
So I just try to cater to what people want.
That's what I was going to ask. The $1 million question is here. Do you bake sugar-free?
Right. Yeah, so it really depends on what the client wants. When I'm making stuff for her, I do try to do it with agave or something more natural. But if the client doesn't really care, then I do cook with sugar. Because it's something you just do every once in a while. It's not something you're eating every day. So
Right. Big difference there.
Yes.
So little moderation.
Yes.
So speaking of all that again, you
Yes.
have a raffle, you have some stuff going on, some giveaways, some things you're doing.
Yeah, well, on my another aspect of my blog has kind of been evolving as it's been going along, and I really want it to be something that helps and inspires other women, or helps people find their purpose, or helps them achieve their goals and stuff like that, because it is hard when you're being a mom and you get kind of caught up in cleaning and working and changing diapers and cooking, and that
all day.
You feel like that may be all that you do. And so I'm going to start, I'm actually in the process of creating a free email course. I don't know if you've heard of bullet journals. Have you ever heard of bullet journals? So it's kind of this new phase.
It has pineapples on it. You have to see.
Yeah, I made this
Can you
one.
see?
I made this one with I just made it from paper from Michael's. But a bullet journal is a journal that just has dots. I don't know if you can see them, but they're just dots.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you can customize it, and you can do whatever sort of planner fits for your life.
Oh, interesting.
So like you can do like habit tracker if you want to track habits of taking your vitamins or exercising. And then, yes, you can go down, baby. And then if you want to, thank you, I'll hold that for you. So cute. If you want to look at your whole year, like if you have events coming up, this is 2018, so it's just super customizable, which I have found it really useful in here's December, keeping track of important events I have coming up, and then you have weekly logs. So I want to do a free email course on showing people how to use the basics of it.
And kind of all those different styles. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, all the different styles. I mean, there's so many things on YouTube. It was started by a guy, which I can't remember his name, but who came up with the process of bullet journaling and how to track your things. And women ran with it, and now it's all creative, and people even use it as okay, say excuse me. Good girl.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. If you want to use it, if you want to kind of like a scrapbook, if you went to the movies, you could paste in, your movie ticket. So it can be really creative, or it can be super simple. But I wanted to do a giveaway of 2 bullet journals.
Awesome.
Right? And I'm not sure if I can know how to do it, but if I have the link that I can post in the comments, right?
Yeah.
So anybody who subscribes and enters in the drawing, I'm going to do it for about a week till next Thursday to let people enter. And then on Friday, I will pick the winner. And should the video, oh, here it is. Here's
There
us.
it is.
Oh my goodness.
There we are, live. That's pretty awesome. So what you're going to do is you're going to post the link. They go to the link, and that's how they're going to join.
Yeah.
Okay.
You basically just subscribe, and it enters you in for a chance to win one of these bullet journals, and then I'll just mail it to the 2 winners to a U.S. address. But everybody here lives locally, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Except for one of us.
Oh,
we have one in South Africa.
Oh, yeah, one in South Africa. Okay.
Cool. So that was awesome. Love the online course stuff. Love organization. Organization's one of my passions. But anyways, is there anything else that you'd like to add, or you'd like the moms to know about you, your sugar-free movement, your passions, all that kind of fun stuff?
I think the main thing, like I said, my blog is kind of evolving, and I really want to be able to help people. I've noticed acquaintances and friends often come to me for help, so I am one of those people who's good at problem solving, and so if anybody needs somebody to reach out to, I'm totally there for people. I love helping people solve problems, or figuring out what their purpose is in life or what they want to achieve, and I just love helping people. So I do want to do as much as I can, and now that I'm I used to work in California where I did help a lot of people, but now that I'm raising a child, I haven't had as much time, so this blog is kind of letting me get back into that and be able to help people more.
Well, that's awesome. I love it. Well, it's the perfect place for her to be here, right? Helping people, because that's what we do. So if anybody has any questions about any of your passions, about the organization stuff that you do, about the sugar-free stuff that you do, then just comment below, and you'll be hitting the post here and there to answer those questions for us, yes?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Katie.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was good to talk to you. Later, guys.
Bye, guys.